Hey guys, today on Problem Solved, we are going to solve something that's been somewhat of an issue for a while. Let me show you the sad state of affairs that we're gonna fix, hopefully really simply today. So this is one side of the driveway here. These lights, we purchased these lights from Costco, and you know, they've been good. I think the only issue with them really is my installation, and I'll get to the problems in a second. If we look over here, they are not straight and they're in bad shape. I'll show you this one over here. This one's been crushed a few times and they're just not great. And that's not the fault of the lights. As I said, the lights are actually really good. It's the positioning of them and my installation. So I'm gonna go over the problems and then I'll show you what we're gonna replace them with. So part of the issue is that I think I put them too close to the edge of the driveway. Now for this light right here, that's not really a problem, but you kind of want them straight in a line and it just looks nicer. But this one here is probably the worst offender. If we park too close, then we open the door, we forget the light's there, and we hit it and we knock it over and it's real bad. So what's the solution to that? I think the solution is to install it just in a little bit further. Because of this giant rock, we can't go in too much further, but we can go in a little bit further. And I think actually that will solve the problem. Because it's not like we're fully opening the door and slamming the light and stuff like that. It's just the door needs to open a little bit like this and then not hit the light. So I think that'll fix the problem here. If we go to the other side, it's kind of the same story. I put them kind of right up against the driveway. And, you know, I was thinking like, you know, a plain runway or something. And, but I think it's better if they're just off just a little bit, maybe like that. I think that'll help them last longer. Also, if we're doing yard work and stuff like that, well, I don't know. The yard work thing is a bit iffy. You know, sometimes when you're doing yard work, you hit the lights, you knock them over. I don't think there's anything that's going to prevent that. But either way, we're going to try to install them better, not these. I'll show you what we're going to replace them with. All right, so this is what we're replacing it with. These are the Tommy Bahama patio lights, or solar powered patio lights. These are from Costco. You get 6 in one pack, and I think it was like less than 40 bucks. You know, they're not gonna be the brightest things in the world. It does say they're 40 lumens, so you know, that's enough. I think that's at least equivalent to what we have. But I just like the fact that you get 6 in a box and it's relatively cheap. I also like this design a little bit better. So you can see here, they kind of shine down on the pathway, and that leaves like a little gap here. Here they have it right up against the pathway, but this obviously isn't a pathway you would be driving on. This is a pathway you would be walking on. So we're gonna install them. Hopefully tonight they will have enough charge to light up and stuff, and I can get some video footage of that. But we're gonna install them on the driveway, but first we have to take out the old lights. This is the one that's been smashed a few times. I think I actually ran over it once or twice. Yeah, it's not in good shape. So being where we are, stuff never really survives outside for very long just because of the heat and sometimes the extreme weather and stuff like that. But these have been out there for, I don't know, at least a year, maybe a year and a half. This is the state of the solar panels that are on the top. It's not great. They did still work though. So I don't think I want to throw them away. I'm gonna try to repurpose them. Maybe I can do something to polish this up. I don't know. I have to look up how to do that, if I even can do that, if it's possible. Anyway, these still work, so we're gonna try to use them someplace else. Six posts, they are metal. They are very, very thin though. I don't know if you can see that, but very thin. I mean, you're getting 6 in one box, so I didn't expect them to, you know, be top of the line quality. But they're very thin. Hopefully they'll work. Here's the stakes, and they're very similar to the stakes of the ones we just pulled out. Obviously, you can hammer the stakes in, and then you can put the post right there on top. So these are the stakes, and these are the lights themselves. And they're actually good size. Thought they would be a little small, but single LED. The solar panel is much larger than the other one, which is nice. They have this dial here so you can kind of aim them up and down depending on where you want. They have an on-off switch, which is cool. The other ones did not have an on-off switch, so that's neat. And then this just goes on top of the pole, just like that, and then we can aim them where we want. All right, so to make these look nice, generally, you know, if I put one here, I want to look across so I can get it to the same place on the other side. The other one was right here, but I think I can just put it in line with this crack that goes all the way across. But I do want to set it just slightly off the driveway a little further, right here. We do have irrigation lines for our bushes and stuff like that, but I know there's none right here, so I think we should be okay. I'm going to use this line to kind of measure it, and then probably halfway between here, maybe about here, halfway between that line and this line, and then the other one we can put, you know, close to the corner here. As long as they all line up with each other, I think it'll be all right, and it'll look uniform. So I think that's what we're gonna do. The first one's gonna be right here, as I said, right in this line. I wanna kind of move the rock out of the way, the gravel. All right, and we're off, I would say, probably about 8-9 inches. Now, I wanted to move the gravel out of the way just because I don't want this to hit a rock. We have a problem with these. These are just plastic stakes and stuff like that, and they will bend and break if they hit a rock. These ones actually look like they have a little reinforcement here, which is nice because maybe these won't bend and break as easily as other ones. We want to make sure they're straight also. That's the other thing. We'll see how that looks. If it's too far away from the driveway, we'll make some adjustments, but I think it'll be all right. Put the next one in. Okay, that's straight enough. Yeah, that looks good. That already looks good. When you're working outside, especially if it's hot, you gotta make sure to keep yourself hydrated. Even if you aren't feeling thirsty, especially out here, one thing I've learned is you have to keep yourself hydrated and continuously drink. Otherwise, when you get inside later and start to cool off, you're gonna feel really, really awful, and you won't even notice it. We're gonna line up with that other one over there. Oh, I have a steak in here left over from Christmas. Pull that out of there. Another one too. I thought they got all these. Apparently not. All right. So about in this far, again, about 8 or 9 inches. And we were trying to go right in line with this because that's where the other one is. Make it as straight as possible. just like that. So the end for this one is here, and this line isn't straight. It curves down and then around. So this one is different. Now, I could put a light at the end of the driveway here, but it's not gonna match up with that one. You can see the curve, which is what I had before. I had it down here, I think. Can't even see where I put, oh no, was it up there? Maybe it was up there. So, should I do it different than those over there? I think that'll look weird. I would rather have them perfectly in line with each other. Maybe that's like an OCD thing, I'm not sure. But I think that's what we're gonna do. Just make them in line with each other. Make sure this one's turned on as well. It's on, and we're good. So that was a basic video of how to install the Tommy Bahama 6-path light pack from Costco. They're charging right now. I'll put some footage at the end of this video of what they look like at night when they're all lit up. Hopefully they look nice. Thank you for joining me for this one. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. I'm trying to boost the subscribers on both my channels, but this one as well. And really appreciate you joining me for this episode of Problem Solved. All right, this is how the lights look at night. They look pretty good. I'm gonna turn off my my Govee lights, and then we'll look at it from the other side. But they came out pretty good. So yeah, looks pretty good. They're actually much brighter than the other ones, and they're lined up pretty good. I'm happy with it.